Live from the CBS Broadcast Center in Los Angeles, this is CBS 2 News at 5 p.m.
We're now joined by David Rae, a financial planner, to explain what happened with those stocks today.
Well, David, we know Wall Street doesn't like uncertainty, and this situation with Russia and Ukraine is very uncertain. Also, the uncertainty with the Fed and interest rates. So do you expect more volatility with the markets?
Well, it sure was a crazy day, and I love days like this, but I will say we should expect more volatility this year. There's a lot going on. We have midterm elections coming up, Ukraine, inflation, the pandemic, but COVID is your friend and volatility is your friend in days like this because we can really make a lot of money with the stock market. And the last time we had a sell-off like this month was back at the beginning of the pandemic, and the stock market's done amazingly well since the beginning of the pandemic.
I love the positive attitude, David. Let's talk about inflation. You mentioned that. How much is inflation driving this, and do you see a time when inflation wanes?
Well, right now we have a really big gap between the supply and demand and what you can get in the stores and what's available. So I do expect inflation to continue for quite some time this year until really we get that back up in the ports fixed. But at the same time, as we're talking about the stock market, it's a really good hedge against inflation. Inflation is high, but returns in the stock market have been exponentially higher. So it's a great place to really hedge your bets and try and stay ahead of inflation. If you're leaving money in the bank, you're losing money every day, even when the stock market's up to inflation.
Well, David, I hope a lot of our viewers share the same optimism that you have right now. They have retirement plans such as IRAs, 401ks, 403bs. What is your advice to them tonight?
I love helping people retire, and I had a bunch of people planning to retire this year and retire last year during the pandemic. What the best advice I can give you is the IRS just gave us some good news, and we can increase our contributions to 401ks. So take a look at what you're contributing, set up automatic contributions to your 401k or IRA or whatever retirement account you're using. Look to increase it this year. You can increase it up to $1,000 this year if you're an employee, and $3,000 for a total of $61,000 in contributions if you're a small business owner. So some really great ways to increase your security in retirement, as well as get some nice tax breaks now, and take advantage of the compound interest in the stock market.
All right, I think you make us feel a little less nervous
Yeah.
today. David
That's what
Rae,
I'm here for.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Anytime, my pleasure.